Is this on? Is this on? Interview. Is Mark from Gasboarding, from Blast Kiteboarding, Mark Raleigh.
So, we've been here a week, almost 2 weeks now. We've been using all the new kites.
2 weeks?
Almost.
It feels like a month or two now. It's time to go home.
So, the new kites, when are they due out? We've been having the pleasure of using the Renegade and Screamer, even the new version 1, I think it is, of the Judge. So what comes first?
Well, as you can see, I mean, I've been testing everything. I mean, we have a lot of prototypes, a lot of even the non-struts kite and all that.
Yeah,
we've been working on a lot of stuff. So for the 4G kites, right now we have the 3G, but the 4G will be coming out. We're going to start with the Renegade first. They're ready to go. So the 4G Renegades will be out in end of June. And then by July we'll have also the Screamers. I mean, I've been working on the Screamers at 4G for a long time. Even in the fall when you were here, you know, you test them, and it's hard. I cannot make anything better than what we have. So we came up with a new Screamer, but it's just a little bit refined to what we have. Yeah. So it's not going to be a big difference. Why change something that's very good? Yeah.
And the Screamer is kind of like, there's nothing much else on the market like the Screamers. It's kind of, from what I've tried, and I've tried lots of other kind of boosting kite things, but nothing works quite like the Screamer.
Yeah, that's why I love the Screamer, and that's why we call it the Screamer, because you know, people that get on and the first jump they haven't been used to it, and when they jump it's like screaming on it, and that's what the name.
And that almost seems to be that if you've got good technique, you can really get the most out of it. But even people who haven't got the best technique can still jump higher than they've ever jumped.
Like what I say, when people want to come out of the water, people are like, how can you do that? How can you do that? I'm like, just try the equipment, you'll see the kite. I mean,
that's another thing. Your philosophy has always been try the kite.
Try the kite. I mean,
so even with it, like the Renegade is kind of a dual kite. It's a regular kite. Every brand has got a kite like the Renegade. But what sets the Renegade then apart from the other kites? Because people do seem to go on it and say, wow, that is nice, you know, and there's but what other merits is it?
Well, what I try to do is, for each model of kites, I try to come up with a name that will actually tell what the kite does. So for the Screamer, you hear the word Screamer, so you know you're going to be screaming. That's something. So when you scream, when you're way up there, you're like, you know, so that's a Screamer. That describes the Screamer.
I've heard totally squealing. You should maybe call it a squealer.
The squealer, yeah, oh yeah. So, but yeah, so every product, every model comes with a name. So for example, the Racer, we call it the Racer. It's a race kite. So you're looking for a race kite? It's the Racer.
So what about the Renegade though?
The Renegade is also, the name Renegade means like outlaw. It means like it does everything. So the Renegade, it's an all-around kite.
It does what it wanted to do.
Yeah, it's like, I have people that take the Renegade and they go and jump, and they're like, oh my gosh, I never jumped so high. That's my. I'm like, you want to jump? I'm like, yeah. Try the Screamers. No, the Renegade. So the Renegade is a kite that does pretty much everything. I mean, me, it's my personal kite for the waves. I love the Renegade for wave riding. But people love it for unhook stuff. People like it for teaching. People like it for free ride. So it's an all-around kite. That one kite that you can, you know, use it.
The other kite that I had a quick go on this week, and I know it's a very early prototype, which was the Surf kite.
The Surf kite,
But the Surf kite will be just specifically surf, so it won't be jumping kite. It will just be.
Like right now, you know, like another model. It's coming up. It's called the Surf. Yeah. So I mean, you're looking for a surf kite, a wave kite. It's the Surf.
But
so
why did you change your mind? Because when I talked to you back in the autumn, you were like, no, we got the Renegade. We don't need a wave kite. That obviously.
Yeah, that's well because the Renegade. I'm tweaking it. How long has it been up there? Well, that's Zeus, by the way, and I guess he wants to hear about Epic Kites too. Anyway, so you know the Surf. You're right. The Renegade is my personal wave kite. I love what I do, but also I don't want to target the Renegade and call it the wave kite, because then people are like, oh, I'm not a wave rider, and they're not going to want to touch it. So I never called it the wave kite, but it was my wave. But from tweaking it every year, tweaking it came up to be like a better, like all-around kite, and more also for jumping, for freestyle, for everything. So
we even use it for teaching.
For teaching, yeah, it's a very good kite for all around. But now I want a kite that's specifically for waves. Like the screamer is specifically for. So if I go to Maui, I'm never going to take the screamer. If I go to places where there's surf, I'm never going to take the screamer. I mean, of course, don't take me wrong, it works in the waves, but it's not. So now, when I go to places with waves, I always take the Renegade.
So with the surf kite now, what? So that I'm guessing that it's going to be, it'll turn on its axis more and it'll have better drift.
Yeah, it's a kite that when you unhook, it just, because now the Renegade, it's very good for jumping too now, but because we tweaked it, and from the increasing of the jumping and all that, it goes more, a little bit more at the edge of the window, so it's very hard to, it has become a kite for an all-around, and that's why now the new 4G Renegade, it has two settings on the leading edge. We have the free ride and the wave riding, so it can stay a little bit further back, so it's still perfect. I mean, that's why I still use. And right now we're also working with the surf kite with prototypes, but I want to make the surf just a surf kite. It's going to be really low aspect, but if you have a really, really low aspect, it's hard to go upwind and all that. So that's what I'm working on. And now the prototypes I have are very good, but they're not as fast as what I want. So we're still working. And the shape, you saw the shape of the surf, it's amazing. I mean, it's totally different, doesn't exist out there.
It's quite refreshing to see something that's not. You've not looked at something else and tried to copy anything. It's just your kind of and straight away it looks different, looks exciting. Got me excited.
Oh yeah, and everybody wanted to try it. But again, I won't take all the credits. I want to surf kite, so I asked Mommy, I want to surf, surf like a screamer, a kite. Can you do that? So he said, oh, let me try it, and we tried it. And then I went on the kite forum and asked. That's why we're doing so well, is because we are part of the community. Like I ask people, I ask kiters, I ask all this, what are you looking for? And I'm getting so many response about the kite. So that's how I'm able to come up with ideas with the surf and make it better.
One of the other questions one of our guys on this trip has asked us is with the Renegade. He said, what is different between the 3G and the 4G? And I was sort of saying, I said, well, ask Dimitri. But he said, oh, he'll say it's just better. And I said, well, no, ask him what is the difference. And I said, some of them will be, we've got a new size there, so we've got 6.5. So we've got rid of the 5 and the 7.
Yeah.
And then I know that the 11 and the 13 are what I thought were massive differences. I can see when it was laying on the beach, I can see the wingtips are slightly different shape. What has it done to the kite that actually made it better?
Well, when I tell customers, if they already bought the 3G kite, I mean, it's an amazing kite. Just keep it. Don't even need to buy a 4G. Later on, if you want to get 4G, I mean, it's not.
They're all small.
They're all small. It's like improvements. So like the 13 4G compared to the 13 3G, it has maybe like I'll say like a 17% improvement in a better hang time, better turning, more stable. Okay, but still the 3G Renegade 13 is an amazing kite. Same thing with the Infinity V3. If you have the V2, you bought it, just hold on to it.
So what you're trying to do is increase the wind range a little bit on them, so that they.
Yes and no, because I do have it, but it's just like I'm always trying to test. Like now, for example, the 4G kites that are in production, the Renegades. I found something even better now. I mean, better. It won't stop. I'm never going to release any kites if I continue always. That's the thing is, let's keep this for the 5G. So it's always something small. It's a tweaking. Now, for the Renegades, for example, we have a 6.5. And what I did is with a 6.5, I went back to the 2010 Renegade 6 that we had and used that one because it's like a ball bead. It was better in the gauze and all that. So I made this one, and I love these guys. Now the Renegade 9, it's a different shape. All our Renegades are different. We don't do like most of the companies. They come up with a one size, a 10, and then they're going to make a 7 and 8 the same. No.
You can actually see the differences in this sort of.
Different shape, different profile to work with the wind that you want to, So
we still use a 6 in our school from the 2G.
Yeah.
and it's still going strong.
Well, that's the thing, is that's why
this kite has been
yeah,
slammed and slammed and slammed, and it's still.
And that's why we made it a little bit bigger, because so now it's a 6.5. So now the Renegade's 4G comes in 6.5, 9, 11, 13, and the Infinity V3. So
and
those
then
are the kites.
you've still got the Junior Pro then.
And I have the Junior Pro for the kids with the bars and everything else. And if you still want a Renegade 5, we still can make the 3Gs.
So they're still available.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a number of us at home that are still using the 5 for wave riding, the Renegade, but I believe you're going to have the Surf in a 5 as well, possibly?
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. The Surf, we're still working prototypes, so nothing is ready yet. We still have a lot to go through. But the Surf is going to come in 5, 8, and 12.
Okay.
So that's going to be the Surf.
You are going to do a 12?
Yeah, it's going to be an 11.6, so we're going to round it to 12.
That was another question I had from back home for the bigger guys. 'Cause they're not all 10 stone or whatever. There's bigger guys that want to know that the difficulty is making a 12-meter kite that is going to turn like a 9 or a 10-meter kite.
Well, that's why I'm not making bigger, because then you can go with the Renegade 13.
Yeah.
The Renegade 13 turns really well, and it's really good for the waves. I mean,
especially on the short lines as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, all my kites, I use all my Renegades. I use, when I go in the waves, I use the 15-meter lines, and they all come with an extra set of lines, 15-meter lines.
So all the Renegades come with 2 sets of lines, 15, 22.
Yes, with the bar, the 22. Yeah.
And Screamer is just on the
22-meter lines.
And then the Judge.
The Judge Sea Kite, which is a wake style kite, that comes with 18-meter lines in the back, plus the 22 that comes with the bar. And with the Surf, I'm thinking about 18-meter lines also for the Surf.
So that's a massive. For the price, you're getting a lot of your money out, a lot of value, because those lines are like one of the most expensive.
Oh, lines, yeah, lines. Just the
well.
lines, just the retail on the lines, it's $160 for the retail on 4 lines. So yeah, no, I mean, it's, I'm trying to bring. This is my theory, okay? To make what makes Epic work is, first of all, we want the best performance kite out there. And I know, I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that have amazing performance, but they don't have the entire package. So what I want is performance. And I mean, you've seen people on the beach, oh wow, so it's amazing. Now someone else with you has been using kites, and now he kind of doesn't want, he just wants to run on Epic.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking out there to see if I can see him out there now. I think you might have borrowed our kite again.
There we go. So it's just, so that's why I have also warning on all our ads. Warning: do not buy another kite until you experience an Epic kite, because I know I've traveled worldwide and I know. Yeah. What people, I just go on the beach, hey, try this. Oh, what kind of kite is this? I'm like, try and tell them what you think. Yeah. And they take it, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I gotta tell my wife, she's gonna be upset, because now I love this kite. She just, tons of stuff like that.
You just like upsetting people, because then they get upset.
And then they get upset, so sometimes, and that's why I'm like, hey, try this, because I know the outcome of it. But again, it's the performance. Yeah. Then I want the graphic, the beauty of the kite. I mean, look at our kites. I get a lot of emails, a lot of calls, even on the beach. My gosh, Dimitri, your kites are the most beautiful kites I've seen, in entire. So.
And I gotta say, some of the new ones we've seen.
Oh, the new ones, the 4G, yeah.
I can see one sort of lingering behind you there, in the background.
Oh yeah. No, so the second part is like the beauty. I want to attract people. So it's a beauty. Then after that, you have also the customer service. So I want to be able to, whatever happens to you, and you're doing a great job. I mean, in the UK, if someone has a problem, you own it, and that's what I want from dealers. And we're very hard on dealers. We're very strict. We want the dealers to be the best dealers out there to help customers. And
I think
I want you to, that's our reflection.
One of the things that the way that Sarah and I think about when we're dealing with customers back home is we know what they're like. We know what it's like to be them when something does go wrong, and things will break. You're pushing the limits. You're going out in conditions that perhaps you shouldn't be out in. People out on 12-meter kites, and they just want to go as high as they can, and things can and will go wrong. But we know what that's like. I can see he is on our kite, and he's flying.
Is that Screamer 9?
That's the Renegade 9.
The Renegade 9, yeah.
And that guy was doing, we got some photos of him yesterday going higher than he's ever, and that's on a Renegade. So he's still jumping higher than he's ever gone before, and loves to come. But yeah, so when something goes wrong, I appreciate what it's like to not have your kite on the water. So we just want to get them back on the water as quickly as we can, sort it out, and if they're happy, we're happy. It's no big deal. So it's all good.
Yeah.